This is a
top
simulation
is
game
going
set in
to
a
be
virtual
the
world and does not
the
represent
format
real
breakdown
life.
we had
Please
before during
play
the
in
group stage.
moderation,
We had
take
5
frequent
groups,
breaks,
4 teams
and
each,
play
and then the top 6
responsibly.
teams will go forward to the final stage that's happening right now in the last day. Then, well, we are about to find out who is the champion in Southeast Asia.
I did have a bit of talk with Keith yesterday, and somebody's a bit frustrated, but I'm not sure if we should mention it here. I don't know if we should mention it here, but anyways, the team that actually on top, we're gonna have to see it later as we're gonna jump into the score system first. If you guys haven't got a clue about what the score system is, you know which team you're living in, but it's still gonna be the same system with the first place Chicken Dinner take away with 15 points, second place with 12 points, third with 10 points, fourth with 8 points, fifth 6 points, sixth 4 points, seventh with only 2 points, while 8 to 12 only gain 1 point each of the placement, and 13 to 16 place nil. Pretty much nothing unless if they score themselves at least 1 elimination point.
Well, 1 is not the, I guess, not life-changing points at this very last day. You know, I see some of these teams are falling behind quite the huge margin here. But again, like you mentioned, we will get to that in just about a bit. Now, the main thing on why people play competitive games, prize pool, compensation, $60,000 US on the line here with first place taking home 10K US, falling down in second at 7, third place takes home 5. Fourth at 3,000, fifth to the 8th place get the 1,000, and well, you get participation prize of 1,000 with, of course, more incentives to win that winner chicken dinner at 200 USD each, and an MVP at 100, and tournament MVP, which is the overall, totally different than match MVP, 1,000 USD. And Gunslinger, I guess, the most kill. I explain. Tell me, what's Gunslinger all about?
You guess. So it's not just for the glory of, you know, representing your country anymore, huh? But this will be the top 16 teams advancing, getting themselves the grand finals here today. We have FaZe Clan, Eagle Esports, Day Infinity, 4 Rivals, GigFam, OT2 Scene, Bonafide, Genesis Esports, DZ's, Orange Esports, RRQ, AdFriend, Wargaming, and 42 Esports, Anko PUBG Mobile, and Young Galacticos. Any particular team that you have in mind right now that you're rooting for, Keith, today?
Well, I would say since I'm Malaysian, I kind of have to go with GeekFam since they're on fire. Yeah, probably not the answer you were hoping for, but also we bid farewell previously in the group stage was Blade Sentinels, Genesis Esports, and 9 Esports. Unfortunately, Genesis right here actually. What am I talking about? I got swayed here. Now, Chuchu's trying to get me to admit that I said some things, and it just so happened to be that Cambodian teams take the bottom 2. What
do you mean? I don't make you say anything unless if you want to. I mean, like, it's not impossible. They still have a lot of catching up to do. We've seen a lot of things done yesterday, especially with Lions. But Gaming, I have to say, they are one of the team that's really being an underdog for the entirety of any league at all. We've never seen any Bruneian team as a full. We've seen before, like, they are like one player in additional to another team. But before we're going about that into furthermore, this will be the kings of maps for now. Erangel taken away by FaZe Clan with 67 points.
Yeah, and just the contrast you were talking about underdogs, these here are coming in as powerhouses. We know the name FaZe Clan, we know D Infinity, we know GeekFam, rich history behind the organizations themselves and how they perform in the game of PUBG Mobile. And it's no surprise that they take the top 3 positions right now. Dancing in the top 2 position. 67 total points for FaZe Clan in Erangel alone. Miramar, 64 points taken by the Infinity, both representing the lands of Thailand. Many smiles, but also lethal firepower. Meanwhile, GeekFam coming in as, I guess, somewhat of a surprise here, because Sandhawk is a map which I know a lot of teams do not know how to play Sandhawk, and somehow GeekFam has been consistently scoring points there. I believe I might have cut out a little bit here.
I mean, like, what do you mean it's surprise? I mean, like, these 3 teams are well-known teams, so none of them actually make a surprise. I do want to see, like, the teams that we rarely have sightings in any pro league actually make it up for the kings of the map, which we didn't get any of those. But when it comes to overall ranking, it's totally different, you know. But these three teams definitely one of the top 5, so we cannot deny the fact they do have so much experience actually in play when it comes to any tournament at all. So experience really do have a big part as well.
I guess what I meant by surprise, it's not for Faceland the Infinity, it's like Geek Fam, right? Because somehow Sanhok is a map where people say it's all RNG, yet they somehow always win in the map of Sanhok. But regardless of that, the top 5 fraggers is shown above here. 1 from Vietnam, 2 from Thailand, 2 from Brunei, with 16 elimination going to side of Lamborghini from D Xavier X. 2,668 damage by himself. And well, the Infinity God Tuny takes home 12 with 2,061 damage. Well, Bois Global PSB 12 eliminations as well. And the rest of them averages about like 12, 11 kills and about 2,000 damages. So you can see the figures up above. But Tony K, man, this guy has been making strides ever since he's hit the pro scene. I would have thought he would be on number 1.
He was number 1, I mean, like, start for day number 2. But for yesterday's performance, the ending of coming up from D Xavier's Lamborghini, there's so many miracles happening. He clutched so much for the team. Most of the chat even says that he actually carried the entire team. Now, there's got to be some teamwork to actually Lamborghini to manage to have himself the opening. But wait for that for a bit. We're going to go for the second page first in terms of the scoreboard.
Yeah, down at the bottom, both from Cambodia. Like, I don't want to draw trends and conclusions, man, but like to have both teams down at the bottom somehow speaks a lot by, like, you know, I guess the region and the play style just maybe don't gel well when it comes to a Southeast Asian level here. Because it just seems that they're struggling to make their way up. I mean, we talked about Brunei not having any representation in any pro scenes, yet here they are, doing better than some.
Well, that's kind of true, but still, at least one team is actually on the first page in terms of 9 to 13 plays. You haven't got any budge at all when it comes to second and first day. But this is where everything matters, because we're talking about the huge line share of prize pool with FaZe and Geek Fam in the top 2. But when it comes to difference of gap between the points, even though they got up to Chikorita for FaZe, is not comfortable yet for them.
Anything can happen. Last day, it's got 5 matches to play, so the difference are, I'd say they're okay. They're quite marginally different, but it's not impossible to really catch up here. So it's 10,000 USD from the first to the second. It's a huge difference in terms of prize pool, so they're really trying to get themselves a bigger share of that pie. And Geek Fam, they have a shot at it. So far, only one share, but still, they're up here, second place, doing better than most.
This shows that they have a lot of consistency if you compare it with all the other teams. The top 5 all have themselves a double chicken dinner to, you know, have pretty much a big meal by the end of the day. But same goes for these teams, and also I think one more team, YG was it, that actually didn't have any chicken dinner on first page. But here comes our schedule. It's gonna be Erangel, Miramar, Erangel, Sanhok, and Miramar. There's only 3 maps right now. We do have a lot actually to play for different modes, but in the tournament it's just gonna be these 3 maps.
Nobody misses Vikendi, do they?
Do you? Do you miss?
Well, I mean, I would love to have a little bit of snow terrain here. I'm not gonna lie, I missed it by quite a bit, but not enough to give some hardships to all these teams that are playing. So I guess this is as fair as it gets, although Sanhok is still in the mix. I think that we probably want more Vikendi than Sanhok, but that's not for me to decide.
Yeah, the last time I actually casted a Vikendi map was way, I think a year ago possibly. Was it a year ago since we last had Vikendi? But it was one particular circle. Was it 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so old.
Been a long time.
We're so we haven't been going out for, like, not us, but we haven't gone out ever. You never go out with me, by the way. But speaking of which, we haven't been outside for the past, like, what, including this is like 2 years, maybe gonna be 3 years in the future? Hopefully not, because it's been a while. We're actually meeting having human interaction face to face, and it might be awkward. There's actually one post just we're gonna sidetrack for a bit. I actually saw a post today saying that how does it feel if suddenly you don't have to wear a mask anymore outside? It feels super awkward because people can see your face now.
I think that's never gonna happen. You know, I've made peace with the fact that ever since the pandemic, this is it. This is the new normal. Like, even if COVID is finally done and dusted with, people are still gonna walk around wearing masks. I feel that is the fear it has, the PTSD instilled on everyone else.
Yeah, it's better be safe than sorry. But we do have our Erangel map very soon. As you guys can see, the countdown on 30 seconds left. Cannot wait to see what's going to happen in the first Erangel. Just a bit of a, filling up Keith about what happened in especially Pochinki. We do see FaZe actually the kings of Erangel for now, but when it comes to kings of Pochinki, so far it's being won by Genesis, and Genesis have been fighting over the same spot with the Xaviers, who kind of winning it for I think the first few days when it comes to the grouping stage, but when it comes to the grand finals, they're having a hard time to actually defend their fortress of Pochinki. So I do want to know, is actually the Xavier's gonna actually swap over to a different map entirely, or a different drop spot entirely, or will they still contest in it? But let's not waste any more time. We're gonna actually go into the game.
You know what they say, if you're ever wondering, whoa. This is the first time I'm looking at the animation. I'm not gonna lie here. Filling in from Sir Cloud, and I'm having my mind's blown. In day number 3, let's go. It's Erangel match number 11. Now, to fill in your, I continue my train of thought. You know what they say, when in doubt, trust the numbers here. So sure, Genesis might be winning in Pochinki, but hey, FaZe is the best performer in Erangel. Where do they drop? Hospital or the Hills of Gatka? So maybe that's the better rotation to make. Only close to that is going to be Geek Fam over in Georgia Paul.
Orange? Well, you mentioned earlier today, just like I mentioned earlier today, anything can happen when it comes to the last day. So possibility of, the second page, the Cambodian team is actually at the bottom of it, has nothing more to lose. They literally have nothing else to lose anymore. And, this might push them into a corner. They really want to do something unusual.
Well, they still have things to lose, if I'm being honest. They are kept for their performances. I can tell you that much.
I mean, they definitely get 1,000 for participation prize. It's not that bad. So.
Well, sure. When I raise my kid one day, I'm not letting him walk out. Breakout here. Take a look at the flight path going in from southeast side all the way to the northwestern end. Getting their own drop spots in a direct line here. It's super crowded for Bua. The Bruneians, they like to play all the way up in Stalberg Kimeshki. Do you think they're gonna get that far though?
Usually they won't actually get that far, and pretty much you're gonna get into Yasnaya. That's the furthest usually that we've seen. Nobody actually play at the edge of the map that much yet. I'm not sure about today. If they're being forced to, why not? If it's a possibility to survive even longer, that might be one of the things that they should consider about. But for the side of Genesis, we mentioned about Pochinki. I don't see these Xaviers anywhere around, unless if they mark themselves their territory to be, the line of peace or something between these two teams. I couldn't do a spot at where these Xaviers dropped just now. Once up Genesis, I have to say this Myanmar team is one of the promising one, but a shame that every single time they start to fight, they had pretty good fight when it comes to Genesis, but when it comes to and never get themselves into the center of the circle, they have a bit of a problem between the third and the fourth phase. That's where they actually just disappeared out of nowhere and not even in the game anymore.
Well, I guess luck is on their favor then. If you mentioned that rotation is going to be their weaker suit, circle, most likely so. And talking about how this circle shift as well, it should favor one of the Cambodians, and that is Orange Esports. Likes to drop over in Milta Power. Again, can we actually see them turn tides into their favor here, being the bottom of the groups here? With now Circle going onto their end, they have been said to be able to perform when luck is on their side, so could this be it? I guess we'll find
I
out.
don't think skeptical now, like, this guy's didn't make it, you know? But hey, they might prove us wrong. During the grouping stage, they're actually one of the very few teams that get themselves a team and perform really great when it comes to the grouping stage. That's the thing. When it comes to grouping stage and the grand finals itself, it's so different if you compare it to back, even though it's just like, what, 4 days difference. It's just 1 day break in between, but so much has changed when it comes to the grand finals. FaZe Infinity is still topping off the chart when it comes to grouping stage anyway. So I don't want to talk about the top 5 teams that much, since these teams are pretty much everybody know about them. They are world baths as well, but let's talk those actually in the middle and the bottom bracket. Like APG, Orange. We do know APG and Orange, both teams actually very veteran already in PUBG Mobile scene, but it's still, they're being exposed way back from even the Bruneians, so even the Myanmar didn't actually expose as early as coming up from Cambodia. What really happened coming up from these two teams?
I think someone, wait, what? They're grenading each other. Is that a Bobby remake or is that intentional?
Usually it's intentional in this match. I mean, I don't know. This tournament, sometimes when they fight against another enemy, they love to deny the points when they're actually winning. It happens with a lot with Geek Fam. Speaking of which, oh, so many memorable highlights when it comes to Geek Fam. I have to rewatch everything. They even botched their chicken dinner when fighting against Orange. They had it 3v1 back then, and then they just yeah.
That was unfortunate, but to be fair, they were in quite of the pickle, right? Because Circle suddenly favored Orange and they had to jump down for it. And yeah, fall damage is pretty unforgiving in a game of PUBG Mobile, I noticed. But look at that, no one's even going for the pickup. 4Rival's a bit sketchy here, seeming to wave the white flag really early in the tournament.
I don't think there's anybody trying to push and rush in though. That's the thing, like, maybe they're just a bit, you know, paranoid regarding about how aggressive some teams will be, since today is the last day anyways. So I don't blame them. It's the nurse kicking in at first. This is the first match of the day. They're not warming up yet. But on the side of Genesis, definitely they are warming up as they fighting and trying to challenge AF. 4Rival, that's a bit of a waste, isn't it? Pambura should have picked them up just now.
No, but the thing is, they blew themselves up. That's the issue. They blew themselves up. I saw grenades, anti-fire grenades going across the board. That's like half fast. Like, is this intentional?
Oh, we're gonna have to wait and see for the next couple of minutes if there's any technicalities, update or whatsoever. But for now, as we speak, it's gonna be ongoing as it is. For APG, we did mention about them around Yasnaya, I think. Yep, Yasnaya Poliana. So
Skynin is.
I did. Yeah. I need you to. You know, you can share with us a bit about that.
Okay,
you do know
so
a lot about
a little
them.
bit of background here. Okay, I dwindle a little bit in the C wildcard teams, and Skynin is, I think, hands down. People would argue that he is the best player to come out from Cambodia itself. I remember when he was playing for Orange back in Season 3 in a PMPL league. Not really league back then. It was a 3-day strut for the C finals. He actually kept Orange position in the top 3 actually in the first 2 days, and well, came day number 3 and they fell flat. But for them to be able to stay in that position against the likes of FaZe, against the likes of the Infinity in Season 3 and held it, you know, the top 3 position up until the very last day, is impressive, and it honestly does not reflect what they're capable of right now, because down in the bottom 2 is APG and Orange Esports. And you were talking about, you want to talk about the teams that are underdogs so far, and you brought up Myanmar and I guess Brunei and Cambodia. You want to know a fun fact? It seems that Myanmar and Cambodia have this very intense rivalry. I don't know if you've been in a comment section for that.
Yeah, that one I definitely know. I don't know why. Same goes for Malaysia and Indonesia. It's like, what's the point, right? Because for me, it's like, Well, the netizens can do whatever they want. The chat, it was gonna be ongoing like that, but it's fun to watch sometimes. Personally, I think it's very entertaining, but what's more entertaining is the Xaviers gonna try to force a fight against Infinity, or they will cancel that. But wait, what? He's just giving away his position for McLaren just now. That couple of shots, really. I think they hurt for the side of Infinity, even Tank in the blue. Now, they are chasing him, I think. Definitely, because he accidentally opened fire when he tries to hop into the buggy. And he immediately regrets his decision. What is happening here?
Why he's going into the blues? Like, surely
He's
Infinity
being
don't go
forced
for
to!
that.
He's scared! You can feel he's scared from afar. Just how fast he hops in, just nope, I'm alone, I don't want to fight this.
Man, this feels like an absolute joke. If I'm being honest, like, surely, if someone flees into the blue zone as Infinity, all you have to do is gatekeep. Eventually, they're going to have to go back in the circle. There's no need to chase them all the way down. And that's exactly what they're doing. So, Infinity will be gatekeeping the lights, the area out towards, I guess, Pachinki's here. Because the only way in is probably through the waters, and that's just as good as dead. Saturated, though, is the center of this map.
Yep, just on the outskirts of Milta. But the thing is, we have nobody actually on Sonovska military base now. Speaking of the current circle and the circle these days, they still have a slight possibility to this so they have to pay that on the side. But on a different side, we still have 16 teams, by the way, going on. Infinity spotted out Genesis, who's trying to run away. Everybody just runs away from Infinity. Nobody wants to be their friend.
Yeah, meanwhile, Geek Fam gets a kill onto M42, so that's some sort of a kill going their way. I guess first blood, since 4 rivals, all they did was kill themselves, not consider a kill there. So, meanwhile, Myanmar against each other here as GE. One of them gets taken out by Yangon Galacticus. Losing already 2 members. Infinity right now have 1 kill across their name, and BX Lamborghini picks 1 more off. We're missing all the action here, but I guess we'll look at loot.
That's the best part of the game, looting. Next comes the tapping from M416 Lamborghini. Try to actually do something about this, open up a bit of space for the team to actually migrate towards the next area. Maybe don't even need to do that much, just stay in the farm. We'll see a couple more. YG on the other end, he just got himself against Genesis just now. Well, here goes Indonesian versus Brunei.
Oh, getting shot down from afar. RQ Asa. One more Bruneian there for the counter. They've got a spread, a wide spread. Here, who has control over the little compound. Look at that positioning. They're probably the only team taking this seriously, it seems. They've got complete cover at every corner. There's no way you're getting by unnoticed.
Yep. But for the side of ATS, it's going to be heavy casualty on their side. Not really that heavy. Still have 3 men. It's going to be okay. But Genesis is a different story, though. AF taking very small compound. Now, I really not really like it for the fact that, you know, if you have 1 compound, everybody stays indoors. Nobody's getting information from the outside. At least put a scout, watch it on the rooftop to gain a couple of information regarding where are the other teams, who's rotating right in front of them, who are circle. It's really nice. It's running down fast. It's actually going to come in very late. It's going to be orange, but the team that usually not attracting way too much attention usually gets a chicken in. So this might be it.
Well, I guess that is the best idea right now, to play it passively, because look at how saturated that circle is. Still 15 teams in, although I guess it's only level 2 circle, but still, to survive this long enough, Harajin, he's in trouble. Infinity trying to take one for themselves, already got McLaren from the far end. He will go down. Eagle Esports, they are probably going to lose that 1 member. Don't want to force the issue, lose 2 more than they're necessary here. So McLaren will find his way into the grave through a nade tossed by Mela.
But Yidu Lions for Rivals will be the first team to actually be out. Still have 15 teams in tag here, so extra careful for first day, the last day of the Grand Finals. A lot of teams are playing this very conservatively. We're talking about them not being as proactive, as aggressive as they used to in the first day of the Grand Finals or the second day here. Eagle Esports will have to challenge like against Infinity, who's chasing them toe by toe, but it made a bit U-turn. Eagle Esports want to get themselves at higher ground. We're missing a bit of fight here regarding the Xaviers versus Boa Gaming, with also a sniper rifle taking a fight against Geek. Oh,
Ooh, the
gonna
bolt
hurt.
action. If only it connect.
Yeah,
No,
that's right.
unfortunately, does not get spotted out. Bua Global will have to make his way into the house. It was a good attempt though. It looked right, but I guess maybe bullet drops and all these in-game physics came into play.
What do you mean in-game physics? Those are real-time physics. You have to calculate. You have to actually move a bit upwards for your process to make sure you got yourself the headshot. But if he actually got the headshot just now, I think they would have rushed in. But unfortunately, it's not theirs to take yet. But Global try for a second attempt here. But we do have our Q on the other side as well. So Geek Fam, they have to be extra careful, not telling him their vision with just War Gaming, while DZ is closing in from behind. So we still haven't got any. Oh, now it happens.
Ooh.
Perfect one. One beautiful headshot.
Yeah, that's the one we've been looking for. And now they've got eyes onto Orange, which is very, very what's the word here? Tragic, seeing as though they're named Bua Gaming and Orange. Bua means fruit in Malay. Okay, just in case nobody understands this, because we're in an English stream and they're probably not Malaysians themselves. Well, Bua means fruit and Orange is a fruit, and if they were to go up against that, how tragic would that be? That's cannibalism.
I just wanted to mention that, but you already mentioned it. So yeah, getting species. But it's a fish world out there, okay, when it comes to PUBG Mobile Tournament. But the circle shifted again, and it's going to be FaZe and Infinity once more, taking the circle into their hands. And we do have AF and also one more team. I'm not sure which team's that. It's a bit too crowded there. Eagle Esports just rushed in the last minute. We have RRQ touching the rim of the circle as well. The rest of them, good luck, have fun facing the gatekeepers.
Oh man, Infinity look like they have the stronger part of the circle here, because FaZe, they're all crowded into a single compound. Meanwhile, Infinity has already got the step above and spread out. They have eyes onto Ed Friends, who, like you mentioned, is a small compound, but every single member is in there, so that could be points fading on their way. Meanwhile, Geek Fam now trailing right behind D Xavier. They have to be careful though, because Lamborghini, he's the top frag at this point in the time, and Orange is dropping. That's why Frankie seems that Papa Frankie.
Oh, he got it anyway. He connects, but I'm not sure who actually really got it. For Orange, they are really in an open plane in between the war zone. I don't see this is where when they try to navigate themselves into the circle, everything just get wonky, and now while Gaming even eliminated, we saw how great Global sniped just now, but it's just didn't work out right for them. APG run them down brutally, not showing any mercy. While Geek Fam tried to take down these Xaviers. They are pretty much very low right now. M42, the Philippines here, raiding over this compound, but same goes for these Xaviers. It's going to be 3v2. I think it's best for Geek Fam to disengage from here, because they don't seem to have the number to win this.
Well, they actually look like they do have numbers. Yeah, but this Xavier is the one playing with 3 members left on the map. Now I see some kills across the map. Orange still in, despite losing so many members in that landslide. I would say they could have been them going out. But it's Otto Too Soon who lives up to their reputation, taking out 15th place here. Genesis to join on with. So already, oh, I thought Infinity was dead for a second there. Their logo was like phased out a little bit. But we digress, and it goes back to this house here. If any sort of motion will be committed, APG gets taken out.
And the funny part that we're looking over the places that's not even a fight. There's nothing fighting here. But we do see the kill feed is going crazy right now, as APG been taken down by Geek Fam. I have a bad feeling about APG. Yep, they're definitely done, and it's gonna be theirs to rest for now. Geek Fam on the other hand, if they want to. But in the meantime, it's not just 2 teams here. We're talking about possibly 4 teams. Wait, what? Just now.
Yeah, that was a mistake there, but a push has been committed forward though. Geek Fam, they're holding their ground really, really well. They held, and now they would keep this compound for a little bit longer. Get more smokes deployed. You're trying to buy his teammate more time. Can they go in with the revive? That is the bigger question. If they can come out on top, survive this compound, and not lose a single member, that is the best case you could ever ask for in a game of PUBG Mobile.
What an insane shift just now for the places. Such a huge circle still ended up where every person that's really want the circle on the western side have to shift over to the east, where it's most saturated, most populated. And these Xavier's Geek Fam, even I think that's going to be Bonafide and M42 as well, who doesn't even have to actually move. But the rest of our Infinity and FaZe will have to gun down a lot of people. Speaking of Wish Eagle Esports, 1v3 B!
Well, Beer11, this guy, man. I mean, the entire member of FaZe, I never count them out. MR5, Tony K, they all pull their own weight here. So obviously, that stun right there is seeming more